And Miss Cristina Clark is in the house. Yes. And wait a minute. Is Dr. Nelson soon to be here? Brother Ray's on phone here.
Brother Ray.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's a great, awesome, and amazing day in God's paradise. Thank you for being here. And we have the mighty Dr. Nelson, Alia, and of course, Cristina Clark, your carnivore lifestyle coach. Thank you for being here. And Dr. Nelson, do you want to start the day off?
Good morning, everyone. Wow, it's the 30th of December, 2025. Please put in the chat where you're watching from. And hashtag KMT for a chance to get a t-shirt. Right, Alia?
That's right. Sorry, I was still setting up stuff over here.
And we're going to be talking to Cristina Clark in a few minutes, in a few seconds. Cristina without the H, by the way. And we're going to ask her some questions, but please put the questions in the chat. And how are you doing this morning, Dr. Kiltz?
I am doing fabulous. I woke up at I got up at 3:30 today, a little late, and went to bed early as usual, and inspired to work on Kiltz Mighty Tribe, the new non-for-profit global organization that helps people around the globe to convert from being in the zoo to being back on the savannah, from being the sheep to being the lion, and inspiring all of our carnivore brothers and sisters in a community of volunteerism to inspire everyone to recognize that we are lions, not sheep. That's what I've been working on.
Very good. Cristina, how are you doing this morning? Where are you coming from?
We are coming in from Virginia.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Very good. It was nice to meet you at Hack Your Health.
Yes.
And let's go ahead and hear your carnivore story and what things have improved.
Okay,
with this new style.
Yes. So I became a carnivore in 2023, in April of 2023. And the reason I did that is because about 10 years ago, I became allergic or intolerant to a lot of foods. And then in 2022, I went to Florida for another convention, and I actually swole up like I had been cross-contaminated with gluten, and I was super careful. And I stayed sick the whole weekend, couldn't fit my clothes, but I had to make it do. And I basically came home and nothing changed. So I thought it was just a simple cross-contamination, 3 days, it'd be over. And when I got home, it went on for 7 months. So I had a friend of mine in California who reached out and said, "Hey, you're like allergic to everything. You should go on the Michaela Peterson diet." And I was like, "What's that?" And he was like, "You need to look her up, but it's an all meat diet." And I was like, "That sounds terrible. That sounds dangerous. I can't do that." And he was like, "Well, just look it up. Look her up on Joe Rogan." So I watched the 26-minute video, and then I went to bed, and I'd been so sick. Every single time I ate, I had a reaction. So it just was like never ending. And I just felt so bad. I stayed home a lot. And I got there, watched the video, and I was like, maybe there's something to this. Still sounds weird. But I got up the next day and I did 60 hours of research all week and just looked up all the doctors, all the experts, all the people, wanted to find out what they were saying about it. And I wanted to find out their take, because I have this, perspective about how maybe we're being programmed. And when we're being programmed, you're probably going in the wrong direction and you need to turn around and make a U-turn. So I, after watching Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Anthony Chafee, and different, experts, Sally Norton, I was like, oh, and then I found Kelly Hogan. So, having someone and seeing her do this transformation and then live this life, and she was good, and Lisa Weideman and all these people, I was just like, oh, this seems like a really good idea. So I told my husband, and he was like, this is a terrible idea. You shouldn't do that. And I was like, well, it seems like the only thing that I have, the only choice I have at this moment, because I need the reactions to stop. I need to be able to eat food and I need to be able to heal. So he was like, okay, like you're going to have to take care of it, figure it out. So I knew from all the research that I did that it took about 21 days to switch fuel sources. So it was probably going to be rough. I'm the type of person that would always have a healing crisis or some kind of strong detox. And, like it wasn't easy. So I went into it knowing that, and it took 18 days to actually transfer over and go through all the process. And I mean, I'd still had oxalate dumping, which I didn't even know what that was back then. But it was incredible on the 18th day, as the day went on, I could actually lift my head up because I was so fatigued and so tired that my husband was like, I don't know if you're going to make it through this. You look pretty bad. And he was like, you need to quit. And I was like, no, I can't do that. This is, it takes 21 days. I'm on day 18. It's going to be fine. So on that day, I actually had that whole feeling that people talk about where your brain comes online, you're really focused and you feel good. And the food noise is completely gone, which it's crazy because I had binge eating disorder for like 33 years before all of this. And I worked on that, healed it, and then decided that, it wasn't really the standard American diet. It was like my healthy version of that, veggie straws and chia seed pudding with cocoa in it, all that kind of stuff. But I did not feel the same on carnivore that I did on all the other things that I had tried. And so when all of this happened, of course I was like, hallelujah, we have arrived. And then I actually hired a carnivore doctor because I started in March. No, I started in April. I keep thinking March, but it was April. And at July, I hired this carnivore doctor because I was like, something else is going on. I don't know what it is, but something else is going on. So in that part, I actually had to fill out all these papers and do all this stuff. And when I met the person on Zoom, I was like, hello. And they were like, I know exactly what's wrong with you. And I was like, what is it? Tell me. And she was like, well, it's thyroid. And at that point, we didn't know about adrenals. So she was like, it's probably been going on a long time. Well, I've traced it back, and it's before I had my kids. I was like early 20s back then, and I'm 52 now. And it's crazy how the way you live your life and the way you either take care of yourself or don't take care of yourself leads to all kinds of health issues. So that is my basic story.
Very good. Very good.
What is your mission in life now you've learned these crazy ideas?
My mission in life is to educate women and men, but my passion is for women to know that instead of chasing symptoms and diets, they need to get off of the 4 horsemen of illness, which is grains, seed oils, sugar, and processed food. They're chasing menopause, perimenopause, aging, weight loss. And what they really need to do is they need to understand what they fuel their body with is going to determine how they feel and how they live. So my passion is to educate them and to come alongside them and help them to change direction. But they're the driver and I'm the passenger in the car with the map.
Very good analogy.
We've been lied to by the scientists that tell us science knows better than our ancient spirit and nature. And ultimately, we've been following the scientism, which is basically killing all of us. And well, what about your macros? And what about butyrate? And what about your vitamins? Which should it be grass-fed or grain-fed? And ultimately, there's such a simple story we're missing, isn't it? True.
It is. It's crazy the lies that we've been told just about red meat, fat, and salt. These are very ridiculous lies that we've been told. And these foods are actually hypoallergenic, especially the red meat, hypoallergenic and anti-inflammatory. So of course we've been told not to eat that. And we're chasing, all these other things like symptoms trying to feel better. And it's really what we're putting in our mouth and how we're living our lives.
What you put in your mind and your mouth matters most.
Absolutely.
Should be good, positive, loving, and kind. And it should be the mighty, fatty, rare to raw meat, salt, and water, and less frequent meals.
Exactly. People eat, oh my gosh, they eat every 2 hours. And then they're like, they can't even think. And I'm like, well, what are we eating? How do you think that's making you feel?
We're inspired by the past suffering of our brothers and sisters and our suffering to help give a new story and strengthen our children's children's children. Isn't that what we're really here for?
Absolutely. It's crazy to me, and I keep saying that, but it just blows my mind, the direction that we have gone as a society and as humanity. We believe so many things that are making us sick and that are keeping us sick. And we will not look outside of it just based on what some people said a long time ago that was based on flawed research. And I think mindset is super important because we think usually the same thought over and over and over again all day long. And then we're believing it and chasing it. And it's not even true. We don't even stop to say, is this even true? Should I be believing this? Maybe I should think a different thought and I'll get a different outcome. Yeah.
Flawed research. It will, it's sort of like this idea that, again, it isn't all research. Let me figure it out, right? But in fact, it's already been told thousands and thousands of years ago. So all we have to do is, rather than research something new and different, is go right back to our ancient instinctual way.
Exactly. And what about this madness that we have to eat fiber and fruits and vegetables? What about in winter when you can't grow those things? And should we eat seasonally instead of eating something that comes from around the world somewhere? It's crazy.
You would
Yeah,
have
we weren't
survived
waiting for it to be shipped around, right? What was that?
You would have survived seasonally. I'm waiting. I have papaya trees, mango trees, lime trees. I have all these trees. They haven't. It's been almost a year since they produced fruit. We're all dead. So
plants
you wouldn't even survive.
Plants are mighty smart. They know how to control the environment and all the organisms out there. Mm-hmm. The microbes in the plants basically control the herbivores, the omnivores, and even us carnivores.
Yeah. So what's your take on that as far as like, I know that you talk about this, but like, don't we, when we eat fiber and we eat vegetables and we eat fruit, doesn't it change our bacteria in our gut and make us want more of those things versus if we weren't eating them?
Well, James Henry Salisbury work basically showed that a plant-based diet proliferated the microbes, which ultimately want to kill us. And so the microbes are not good for us. They happen to be there. And you're right, our plant fiber-based diet feeds them, allows them to proliferate and cause all of our damage and disease. What we really should be doing is minimizing the plants and the fiber, maximizing the fatty meat, and eat less frequently, and we'll be healthier than ever. But let's just say you're getting ready for the winter and you're a bear, you're eating animals, berries and grass. So in small amounts, sometimes we probably could eat these things. What the problem is, we've been geared to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks in between, and maximize the raw plants and minimize any animal products, which seems to be working in the favor of those that want to make money and make us slaves, soldiers, peasants, and prisoners. And so it's working for them, but it's not working for us that essentially are living in a zoo.
It's true. And people don't realize that the fruits and vegetables that they're actually eating aren't what came from nature. And they're huge, they're sweet, and it's not something that we should be consuming all the time. It's crazy. I just keep saying it, but it's crazy.
Well, the plants actually are the culprit here. because they're they're actually directing humans to do the work for them, to make them last longer, be more palatable to the organisms, because they're implanting their DNA into our DNA. Microbes and plants and all organisms essentially plant their DNA into our DNA and change our glycocalyx. And it's actually the glycocalyx that's the evolutionary way that DNA changes the outward expression of our blueprint. And so it's the mission to change all of us. So they know what they're doing in doing that. But you're right, alcohol. I mean, alcohol is good for us, right? Red wine. It's recommended by the American College of OBGYN for pregnant and lactating women to drink red wine and eat a plant-based lean meat diet. Oh, by the way, little to no red meat.
Which is doing what? It's really bad for them.
Well, it's good for the money makers because it's controlling the masses. We become the slaves, soldiers, peasants, and prisoners, and then we beg for more of it. I mean, I know too many people that are addicted to alcohol, drugs, and of course, pizza, pasta, bread. And that is our biggest challenge.
Cristina, you've been over 2 years. By the way, I started just a couple of months after you, and it's 915 days for me today. And you mentioned your husband, and he was telling you, you're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
What is he saying now?
Oh, he doesn't say that at all. He's eating carnivore-ish. I guess you would call him a ketovore, maybe. But he is definitely noticing that I am not the same person I was before. So it's a good thing.
And how about the rest of the family and circle of friends?
Some of my friends have gone carnivore, and my family thinks I'm crazy. So they like to stay away from me. So, it's the way it goes, but it's all good. They all think I'm crazy. If I try to get anyone to adopt it, they wanted to tell me that I'm trying to kill people. So I let them do them and I do me. But, I have friends around the world. I've been in a couple coaching programs. So I've met people all over, and my friends are online, and I met them at the Hack Your Health event. So I told some people that I came to Hack Your Health to meet my family.
Aw.
Well, we're all brothers and sisters around the globe, and that is the beauty of our tribes, our gangs, and our communities. It is a brother and sisters way, and we're here to help build our children's children every day.
Absolutely.
Good morning,
So
Jonathan.
I like to talk about genetics versus epigenetics, and how people don't realize that they can change their health. They can change their future through lifestyle. And they believe the history of their family is going to dictate how they live and what's going to happen to them. And I don't believe that's true. I think that when you change the way you sleep, you change the way you handle stress, you change the way you eat, and you change the way you hydrate and move your body, that these things can determine how you live, how long you live, and how happy you are while you're living.
It's absolutely our DNA doesn't change as much as our glycocalyx changes. The outward epigenetics, which essentially is the thoughts in our mind, which are vibrational energy to change the message that is put out by our cells, right? And I say that the master mind here is the lion's mind and the wolf's mind. And when we live and think like that, and we realize, oh my God, I'm no longer a domesticated animal. I'm not a sheep anymore. And the communities sort of help support that. I think is so radical and important. I mean, truly, there are people that become carnivores and then sort of like venture out of it and go back. But I would say that at the carnivore lifestyle, which to me is fatty meat, salt and water, one meal a day, and faith in God, and go out and do something every day, go to work, is a game changer. And, like how many people say, oh, I was miserable on that. No, they were masterful, but it's hard to stay strong like a lion. It's easy to be weak and, go to the pizza, pasta, bread, heroin, cocaine, marijuana, nicotine, and excessive caffeine.
Yes, and I'm giving up. I do decaf coffee. It's mold free. It's got minerals in it, but I'm going to give that up on the 1st. And I'm going to do 31 days. And I'm still deciding if I'm going to do egg yolks. I just don't want to do too many things at one time. I only eat like 5 foods at this moment. So yeah, I'm going to do the lion diet for the month of January, which is World Carnivore Month. And I am going to see the benefits of just removing things that are actually not helpful.
I think if you got rid of the egg yolk, you might be surprised.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know that is actually, I would say, again, this is everyone's own 30-day quest. Each and every one of us, whether it's coffee or no coffee, caffeine or no caffeine. I think minimizing, eliminating caffeine is probably good for us. I think that if you're going to be fatty meat, salt and water, and you're going to add some bone broth or egg yolks, you're creating it and be it and strengthen with that. That's my 2 cents.
I think I could do maybe February with no egg yolks. I am so used to having coffee in the morning it's decaf coffee, but it has butter in it. And that's kind of like my first thing that I like to do. I've got water first. I go outside, I ground, I look at, towards the sun. But I think that doing the coffee for the month of January is going to show me, and I'm going to do the full 31 days. I know everybody's like 30 days. I'm going to do 31. And then I will see how I feel. And then maybe the month of February will be a no egg yolk month. And we'll just be with meat, tallow, salt, and water.
Well, fatty meat is essentially, lean meat and tallow, I guess. But tallow is different than fat. Fat is raw adipose tissue. Tallow is rendered fat, which is not as good as strict whole adipose fat.
Okay. Well, I'll be looking into that.
Yeah. That's why I would say you're better off just cutting some raw fat from the cap of the steak and chewing on that, which I think is like masterful meat. Again, adipose tissue and fat causes no disease. It's lean meat, plants, and being too lean is not good for us.
Oh, that's good. Well, we'll just see what happens. I had thyroid issues and I actually lost a lot of muscle when I was going through all of that. And I kept staying up late and looking at blue light and knowing all these things were bad, but just under a lot of pressure and had a lot going on, and realized, oh, maybe I need to slow down.
Well, I'm wondering if when we think we lose muscle, we're losing intramuscular fat, which is different. As long as you do the work and resistance work, your muscles stay strong. But when you have lack of motion, right, then your muscles will begin to they will begin to retract, but you still have muscle fibers. But most of what we think is just muscle is actually intramuscular fat that we're losing when we lose weight. So this idea that your body is utilizing muscle for anything is not true. You first lose all your fat, but then you die before you could even touch your muscles or any other organ cells. But that's my kind of look on this idea that we think we lose muscle, but we lose intramuscular fat when we lose weight.
Let's get to some questions, Alex.
Yeah.
Okay, good. This isn't a question, but we could say something here. Colin Maharaj, 50. I'm more keto than carnivore. I understand the science, however, because I'm Hindu, I'm negatively judged by my peers.
Love them. Love them. They're not negatively, they're actually challenging you to be you. Remember, every thought we think is not what someone says, but what we think they say. So your mastery is, yes, you're right. Thank you. I love you. And then be you. Go ahead, Cristina.
I was going to say that it's, and this may not come across the right way, but I'm saying it in love. It's none of our business what other people think about us. So we need to focus on who we are and what we're meant to do over what people tell us we should do. And sometimes we're just assuming things, but I know in your culture that's probably difficult, but yeah, just be you and love them.
I love you and thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I love you and thank you.
Deep sea otter. What do you all drink first thing in the morning besides water?
I drink water first thing in the morning. Then I have some coffee.
Same.
Sometimes I have coffee. Today I didn't have enough time to even make it.
Aww.
So just some water.
I have water with some salt in it. Salty provisions, flaky sea salt.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Kiltz,
What?
do you drink water in the morning? And after your water, do you have coffee or do you just do a topo?
What's the first thing you drink?
The spirit of life, love. And then a meditation, prayer, make my bed, 100 push-ups. And then I typically do some mineral water or water with salt. I'm off coffee again. I went 2.5 years, no coffee, no caffeine. And I just got back for 2 months, but now I'm off again.
Nice. All right. Marilyn Flannery, you mentioned thyroid in your intro. What do you think about levothyroxine for hypothyroidism, and how does keto carnivore heal hypothyroidism?
So my take on levothyroxine is it is a synthetic medication that does not actually do what your body needs to, and it doesn't convert your T4 to T3. But I'm not a doctor, so I can't say that. But yeah, I think that eating carnivore can help heal it, but you have to do other things too, like get enough sleep, drink water, eat fatty meat, use salt. And I know that some people don't think that you should use salt, but your body actually needs it. And I know there's this whole war on electrolytes and all of that, but you do need salt. And salt is not bad for you. And it doesn't actually raise your blood pressure like they say it does. It's just one of those things like don't eat red meat. But yeah, you can heal it. I'm on a journey to heal mine. I have a thick head, and sometimes I don't do what I need to do for myself. And I have to set some boundaries, which I have done. And it's a process, but the more processed foods, sugars, seed oils, and grains that you eat, the harder it is going to be for your body to heal the thyroid. And I've been told that that's a downstream symptom, that you should go upstream and work on other things. And seeing the sun first thing in the morning is so important for you. And standing out there, I know it's cold, but you could stand out there in some really thick socks and stand on the ground and ground. It's so healing to the body, and it's natural for you to be able to do that. And seeing the sunset, these things, getting light. A lot of the illnesses are related to not being exposed to the sun and having a deficiency in light. And it can cause you a lot of health issues. And, just listening to traditional, conventional advice to, stay out of the sun, don't eat red meat, salt, fat. These things are bad for you. And, eating all these other things in moderation, which actually, when you're trying to moderate something that's been chemically created to be addictive and to keep you sick or make you sick, it's not really moderation. It's not designed for you to eat it in moderation. And so that's kind of a myth, but people stay stuck in their nutritional problems because they believe it can be moderated.
What do you think about I am healthy and well as our focus of our mindset? Because even if you're a vegan, vegetarian, or Mediterranean, you can live a much better life when you think more positive and loving and kind rather than I'm sick, I'm ill, I got a disease, I'm living my disease,
Right.
and I got to go see my doctor again to get more drugs.
So let me tell you a story. There was a gentleman who was working on, I want to say it was like a shipyard, and he actually went into a container and got locked inside of the container. And this is mindset for you. He was in the container. He believed he was going to freeze to death, and he was like scratching the walls and trying to leave a message. He died in a 54-degree container because he didn't know it was broken. So that's the power of mindset. Whatever you tell yourself over and over, your brain's going to automate it and believe it and want to keep you safe. So if you change what you believe and you change your thoughts, you can get a completely different outcome, and you don't have to change everything at once. You just need to make one small change and be consistent until your brain automates it. And then you can work on a new habit. But we think as women that we need to change 1,800 things. So on Friday, we're going to write out this whole new life. And on Monday, we're going to start, and we're expecting it to go perfectly. And then when it doesn't, we think that we're a failure. But if you just change one small thing, you can actually change your entire life. It's like a domino effect.
And it actually is perfect because it always happens the way it's supposed to. And we learn and grow from stress and struggles, which strengthen and surprise.
Exactly.
Power of
Okay,
attraction.
What decaf coffee do you consume?
It is called Danger Coffee.
Oh, wow.
It's, yeah.
That's
So
funny
it's-
branding.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Dave Asprey, he went from Bulletproof, sold that, and then he started Danger Coffee. So
There you go. All right. Let's see. Why is it that when you change your diet to just eat meat, salt, water, everyone has an opinion, but if you eat highly processed food, no one cares?
do you want me to respond?
Sure.
Yes, please.
People are so triggered by taking out carbs and sugars because it makes them feel like they're being attacked. Because when you eat, it's crazy when you lose weight and you get healthy, other people are happy for you when you first start. But then as you go and you're more successful, they get so triggered and so mad. So the same people that supported you will turn on you. And I think it is, I want to say, it's like what Dr. Kiltz talked about. The bacteria in your body is like, no, we're not doing that. And they're, like stuck in that way of eating. So when they see someone successful on carnivore, they're like, oh, that's going to kill you. How do they know that? They just don't want to give up the foods that they're eating, and they do not want to change.
Yeah.
If someone decides, I'm going to just have 2 Snickers a day and a box of donuts, probably no one will say anything. Absolutely no one. The moment they hear you eat mostly red meat, oh my God, it's going to kill you.
Yeah, but the donuts aren't killing them. Huh. That's interesting. They are slowly killing them. They're
But
slowly
you could say
killing
the
them.
same thing about anything that somebody's successful at. Some people have some form of jealousy. I'm sure.
Exactly.
And we gotta
Well, it's
love
our
it, like
na-
Dr. Kiltz says.
It's our nature to sort of look for failure and fault in others because that's somehow our instinct. And maybe it's a reflection of, wow, if it's happening there and not in here, but ultimately it's all part of all of us. And we do grow and learn. Until you suffer enough, you don't see the sunshine, which is
Right.
carnivore.
Exactly.
Okay, here we go. Donna, I'm going to give up coffee in the new year. Thanks for inspiring us. God bless you all. There you go. This is interesting. We're all electrical beings. Salt is basically our wiring. It's very interesting.
Well, ultimately, every cell is electrolyte driven in order to keep the membranes actually, or the motors, the nanomotors, which move the salts back and forth to keep a gradient, which is ultimately an electrical battery. the battery, which creates charge, which creates motion, which creates life. But it's the nanomotors, not the mitochondria, that truly are the masters.
Okay, Marilyn Flannery, what are some practical ways to help your body convert T4 to T3 aside from morning, evening sun?
I'm going to say that you need sleep, you need stress management, and you need to stay hydrated and move your body. I know that that's a vague answer, but you need to do all of these things and be consistent with them so that your body can do its job properly. And when you eat things that cause your body to be out of balance, then it cannot heal.
Yeah. And Dr. Nelson, do you have any idea? Any tips on this one? Any answers?
Cristina has said all the right things.
Get rid of plants, fatty meat, rare to raw. And
I would say
organ meats.
a balanced nutrition, right? Dr.
Yeah,
Kiltz?
but balance. Right. Fatty meat, salt, and water.
There you go.
And one meal a day, less frequent meals. Allow more fasting. Allow the gut to be empty.
I'm going to say that women do not do as well on fasting, especially when they have thyroid issues. So
that's modern construct, is not an ancient way. We are born to get fat and fast, even women. Now, remember, women rarely had menstrual periods because you're either pregnant or breastfeeding. The modern world, because of birth control pill, condoms, diaphragm, IUDs, and vasectomies and tubal ligations, we're living a completely unnatural world. So you have a menstrual period every month and you're suffering because you think you should wait to have a baby till you're 30 or 40. And that is not nature. There's only one thing we're all born for, and we're not doing it anymore, which is reproductive. That's it. So men and women are both born to fast and gestate and hibernate and migrate. There's no difference in our physiology at all. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, so the other thing that women don't do on a one meal a day for sure is eat enough food.
Well, if you ate fatty meat, if you ate the fat, you're getting more calories. And the calorie, remember, fat that's eaten is simply sent right to the adipose tissue into your cells, but the plants and protein must be converted in the liver via insulin to VLDL and triglycerides. And so it takes longer and more energy to do that. Again, protein, lean meat, and plants are not our natural diet. And cooked meat is not our natural diet either. But again, I'm not telling everyone to go Kiltz's raw meat, but ultimately, again, women are far stronger than men, far more capable of doing more fasting, migration, hibernation, and patience. Men are not. I'd say men are the weak ones. The back and forth is good, Christine. Don't forget, you could go right at Kiltz. I love it.
It's funny though, because, okay, so when a woman is actually sick and dealing with health issues, fasting can be helpful, but it also can cause the things to last longer in times that, like thyroid issues, adrenal issues. Fasting can be amazing, but if they are so sick, and especially when they're still eating the standard American diet, they're going to not heal.
Well, again, this is where, so a bear will hibernate 6 months, gestate, and be healthier than you know, including no loss of muscle or bone mass. And so when we're sick, the body, especially nausea and vomiting first trimester, the body says, don't put that food in my body. Remember, progesterone is a hyperphagic hormone because it rises in the luteal phase once you, in order to get fat, to survive the famines, the fasting, and the hibernation, the migration. So again, we're making, I think we make some comments and statements that are not correct, because when you get rid of the food, you now get rid of the noise, and the body can do what it does, because obesity is not healthy because what you ate to get there is not healthy. But fat, and that again, a thin bear or many animals that migrate thousands of miles, if they don't put fat on, they're dead. And so fat is the fuel and the building blocks of the human body. And it is our most cherished organ system. Obesity. Crazy.
So women don't want to eat the fat. They do not want to eat it because they think it makes them fat. And they do not want to do all the things that are necessary. And that's the hormonal issues and everything too, is they're not taking in the fat.
Well, they're brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
They're brainwashed and convinced that you should wait to have a child and that you should take the birth control pill, which is a controlling pill for the masses. And ultimately we're again, scientism really should be our word, and authorities are your authority is right. They want you to be weak and meek and not have children and not build your brood to be the masters of who and what we are, which are lions, not sheep.
Exactly. So what is your take on all of the people in the carnivore and ketovore space who say that if you have body fat, you should not be eating fat because it is going to store on your body?
What are the odds there's going to be a massive war or disease that's going to wipe out our food source? What world do you live in? We chastise obesity, but we're the dumb ones. We're like, oh shit. Damn. You know, again, it's the human body and mind and cells know what to do. In a time of much, we must consume much in order to get fat to survive the time of lack, which it is coming. Now, again, it can happen to any of us in our sickness. I mean, cancers and many diseases, fasting is one of the best things you can do, and fat is one of the best things you can eat. Because when you eat adipose tissue, it doesn't require the liver to be metabolized. So you're right. You know, it's sort of like, but we're talking a different message anyway. You know, we're not accepting that we're weak and women are different and they can't be strong. They are stronger than men, way stronger. And they can hibernate, gestate, and migrate, and they will do that to save their children's children's children.
Should we,
This is
let's,
an interesting question.
Yes, go ahead.
yeah, let's do some more questions here. Glock 20 AK. Is sugar an addiction? When I try to cut sugar, I get horrible cravings.
Well,
Yes.
guess what? That means it's what?
An addiction.
Well, remember that sugar was never available in the ancient environment. It's a modern drug. Cane sugar, even honey mass produced, it's all a modern drug to keep us all drugged up. And glucose is not your mitochondrial energy. Think of it, we've made the science of sugar as if mitochondria burn glucose. They never do. You cannot, impossible. But we tell you that so you'll want to eat more of it to keep the masters in more money. One of my community friends who just passed recently, Carl, made billions of dollars on cane sugar. And he had a much bigger airplane than I did.
Wow.
Now, again, I'm not chastising those who are doing the work and building it, but it's our job as Lions to say, minimize or eliminate. That's the very best way to live.
Absolutely. Moderation is not a thing when it comes to sugar.
Minimization or elimination.
Elimination.
But remember, when we say the word sugar, there is glucose in animal cells.
Mm-hmm.
So
you can't eat too much meat. You can eat too much meat, and then
eating meat is protein poisoning, and that's part of why many carnivores are still sick. I see many carnivores cut the fat away, and remember, most meat you eat is lean. There's no fat, and it's been cooked, which renders it and damages the cells, the molecules.
I'm gonna work on that.
I mean, cooked meat is better than no meat.
Mhm.
Raw meat is better than raw plants, way better. That's why cooking plants, fermenting or process them, make them less toxic, but not non-toxic.
Okay, let's get the next one here. Craig Faulkner, is there an optional amount of meat you should eat? Did you mean optional or optimal?
Optimal, probably.
Okay. Is there an optimal amount of meat you should eat each day?
Dr. Kiltz.
Is there well, I'll let Cristina answer first.
Okay, so your body needs a certain amount, and you can eat, some people can eat just however much meat they want, but your body will tell you when it's done. So you'll
Correct.
know to stop eating.
Great. Let's
Yeah,
see
I
here.
agree. I mean, basically, lions eventually are like, okay, I'm done. They sleep and rest after a meal, by the way. So I think once you eat, you rest, you digest, the best way to get blood flow to the bowels. And all this stuff of like, you got to wait, doesn't make any sense. I always say take naps. That's the very best thing in life. But yeah, when you're full, you're done.
I think this says Chi-Town Busta or Chi-One Town Busta. Okay. Anyways, I thought meat consumption depends on blood type.
Right. Cow blood or human blood. That's it.
I think it depends which type of blood you have. If you have red blood, you can have meat.
Where's
No,
green
anyone with
blood? Is that
red
in
blood.
iguanas? Rick's iguanas?
Bugs have green blood. Okay. There you go. Eat meat. Can you have coffee on a lion diet?
Not really. I don't think it's called the lion
Yes,
diet if you have coffee.
But you can have whatever you want on a lion diet. But it's not a lion diet then, right?
Exactly.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about the lion diet. Lion diet is a term coined by Michaela Peterson, which basically she has made it be red meat. Well, actually ruminant meat, salt and water. Strictly speaking, obviously coffee is not included, but you're on the Cristina diet. I'm on the Dr. Nelson diet. Dr. Kiltz, you know.
Dr. Kiltz is on the Dr.
Crazy
Kiltz diet.
Kiltz concepts, right? Glucose is not the energy of the cell. Sorry, there is no metabolic switch. There's dietary variety, but not energy variety. If it isn't acetyl-CoA from fatty acids, you're dead.
Hanging on with Jen, I have alpha-gal syndrome. No choice but to eat lean meats as turkey, chicken, and seafood. It sucks, but I make it work.
Okay. Do you know that there is a treatment for that? It costs between $200 to $400. There's a provider in almost every state, and it takes 3 weeks. You have to go see them, get a needle. If they try to do more than one needle, they're not a real provider, but they actually put a little needle in your ear, and it is on a specific point, and you cannot touch anything that is either a byproduct or an actual red meat. And after 3 weeks, the needle comes out. You will taste a tiny, tiny little bit of either bacon or milk or a tiny bit of a burger patty. I mean, like tiny. And you wait 3 days, and then you do it again.
Healthy and well.
Exactly.
I'm
But
healthy and well, and I'm a lion.
okay. And so this process actually helps the alpha gal to leave your body, and you can get back to eating red meat. And I am healthy and well. I am healthy and well. It's very important.
It's sort of its mindset. The mind is the master of all of it. And so, doesn't it seem all these diseases seem to rise when we start talking about them and everyone hears about them?
Yes. Right. But let me say this. When this all happened, I believe that it was a government controlled issue. They dropped these ticks and created this illness because it's anti-red meat. Just saying.
And they're trying to get you not to eat the red meat. And so again, you have this disease and you can't eat red meat. I have this disease. Oh, wait a minute. I am a vegan, a vegetarian. I have to be. It's all mind over masters.
100%.
I want Dr. Nelson to answer this one. Daniel James, can I go carnivore or keto with gout? Kidney function fine. Never had swelling, just pain.
If you are a human, you can go carnivore. There is a chance some people that already have gout may have an exacerbation initially. Some don't even do that, but most people with gout eventually get rid of their gout. We concentrate on the red meat, and there are different levels of purine content in different foods. But you know what? The fructose and the alcohol, when you cut those out, even without cutting the high purine foods, you decrease your gout attacks. But yes, you can do carnivore.
Fatty meat, more fasting. Fatty meat, more fasting. Dr. Nelson, what's the longest you've fasted?
22 days.
2 days?
22 days.
What? That's impossible. Oh, can women fast 22 days, or they're a different species and they can't?
Well, I don't know if I think Jerry's here. Is she? No,
She's here.
Oh, wait a minute.
She's in the middle of her 40-day fast. Actually, not even in the
She must be
middle.
up to, like,
Almost
30.
30 days, right?
I think she's up to about 30 days ish.
She's going to do 40 days. Well, and so let's see. But we're different and we can't do that.
Oh, and Jerry is female.
Oh,
Jerry's
wait a minute.
That's why. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I wanted to make it because Jerry's also a man name. So I wanted to just, she says fasting 29 days today.
29 days. Yes.
He's inspiring us every day. My friends, what is fat on our body for?
Energy.
Fuel and the building blocks of every cell and every baby ever made in your body. You do not use sugars or amino acids directly. They must be converted in the liver. And insulin resistance is a liver disease, nothing more.
All right, so let's see. Faith before food. Good morning. Today I'm celebrating 56 years. Happy birthday. Question. I am weight loss resistant. I am strict keto, less than 10 carbs, no sweeteners, limited dairy. Any suggestions?
Well, you're a lucky human being that is able to conserve their energy so they could survive the famine, the disease, the migration, or the hibernation. Now, is it good to get skinny fast or probably slow? Slow. Your body is the most masterful body ever created. Skinny, my friends, is deadly.
And how are you feeling, Faith, before food?
What does weight loss resistant mean? Is that like a medical term, or is that just she can't lose weight?
It's a medical term.
Oh, it is?
Yes, it is. Of course it is. Now you need a GLP-1 or a dissection or some other diet drug. Ultimately, we've been duped. We look at our bodies and we say, oh, you're ugly and fat. Well, that's absolutely going to build my business as a diet doctor.
What about mindset in this place? Because if she's been told that, she's repeating that to herself and everybody else, and that's keeping her stuck.
Well, isn't all of us, haven't all of us been told that?
In some form, yes. And believing it. So I have a family member who's going through a lot of health issues, and every time you turn around, they're telling another diagnosis, another thing. And I'm just like, yeah. And if they believe it, guess what? They're stuck there.
Poisoned by plants again. And we have a drug and a doctor and a dissection for you. And we're going to keep you controlled in the zoo forevermore.
Yes.
Yeah, mindset. That's why faith is so important and powerful. Faith in God is number one. And God, look in the mirror. There she, he, it is. What's the next mission, Cristina Clark, without an H?
That's right. Without an H, you remembered. What is my mission? What did you ask me?
What is your mission? What's your next let's see, I don't want to use the word goal, but what's your plan of the day?
So I'm a coach. My plan is to reach as many women as possible and help them walk this carnivore journey to heal their body and to live their life and enjoy it without all the nonsense that they've been told and all the things they're chasing that are unnecessary. And I help them to get to the root cause. So 2026 is about helping more women.
And if you help the women, you help the men.
Exactly.
Because men are dumb. Simple. Flattered, fed, and made love to. Whatever you need, honey. Yes, dear.
We ultimately will be helping the men too.
Always, yes. Faith in God. Sunday Mart, number one.
We have a few minutes left, so this is time.
Keep going, Alia. Just answer
I
them.
know they just need to
just ask them.
hashtag KMT for everybody. Julia Carol Young, Greenblatt, morning from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, where I'm imagining healing humanity someday will play in the local theater. P.S. In terms of fasting, I do seem to do best with water fast, not more than 3 days, but only on carnivore, never before that. There you go.
Hi, Julia.
You go more than 3 days without water? Bears do 6 months.
I think water fast is that when you're not having water or when you are having water?
No, well, water fast is yes, you are, but a dry fast is nothing to drink, eat, or again, we're built for that. My bet is we probably did spend a lot of time in the cave once upon a time.
Yes. Afshan, selenium converts T4 to T3. What do you think about the fact that we are depleted of nutrients because all of our food is fake? Even meat is fake now. Taking vitamins help me fast.
The thyroid is not only the selenium, but the zinc, the iron, the iodine. There's multiple vitamins that and minerals.
And your liver and your adipose tissue actually sort of store all of this stuff. And I think getting rid of the fake meat and the fake food and all the toxins, because it's the antigens, chemicals, plant sugars, which are antigenic to the human body, but it's also the goitrogens, which are the plant substances, lectins, oxalates, phytates, and more that damage every cell of the body and is our problem there. I don't think it's absent iodine. I think it's just toxins and poisons that damage the human body is our problem.
Okay. We did that one already. Okay. Oops, sorry.
Go back. You can get it now, Alia.
Okay. Let's see. Margie Ellis, how to treat cortisol waking 3 to 4 a.m.
You can eat some butter.
Well, I mean, how do you know it's cortisol waking? Because you've been fed a lie. You're fine. If I wake up at 3 to 4 a.m., I get up, I do work, I go do something. If I can't sleep, I figure when I'm dead, there'll be plenty of sleep to come. You know, when you get to 70, you're like, wait a minute, 100's coming pretty soon. I better spend more time doing something. Yeah, I think the scientism has given us a lot of diseases.
Diver 989 EMT. With being a recipient of RNY surgery in 2007, I have plateaued. What's RNY?
Roux-en-Y.
Roux-en-Y is just
So-
one of the many gastric bypasses.
Okay. I've plateaued at 235 from 320. I am ketovore with fried cabbage, butter, and salt. What do you recommend to my community?
1 meal a day and fatty meat. Get rid of everything else. And I'm a lion and put in some 2 to 3 days of fasting.
And
Cabbage?
that's great success, by the way.
Cabbage is a goitrogen.
Fasting. Fasting is the master class. And when you get to the 14 days, scientism, Rick, it's a real word.
It is a real word.
It's a real word.
I thought you made that word up.
But scientism is the lie. We've been led to believe there's hard truth in science. It's the most amazing lie that everyone thinks, well, glucose is your energy. Yep, because they want you to be glucose centric.
I put the definition into the chat.
Yeah, we forgot Moses, Muhammad, Abraham, Jesus, Lao Tse, Buddha, and Cristina, Alia, and Dr. Nelson. God is all of us.
Aww.
Time to change the wisdom and the words that we take it back. There's only one authority, and that's God within all of us, period. That's the beauty of social media and the internet. We now have, everyone has access to all of this without going to school and waiting for the authorities to tell you the right answer. Iguanism. I'm working on Kiltz Mighty Tribe and Kiltz Health as a non-for-profit organization, community run and funded around the globe. So I'm going to throw that out to Nelson and Ali and see what they think and throw it out there.
Yeah. Oh, we got to do the giveaway now. We got all the questions.
Hashtag KMT.
To win a Kiltz Mighty Tribe shirt. Possibly win. Here we go.
Cristina.
Michael Smith, congratulations. Please
All right,
email me
Michael,
your shirt size
yeah.
and address, and we'll get that to you right away. Thanks for playing.
I love y'all. It's a great, spectacular day. Let's see, tonight, what do we got today, Dr. Nelson?
3 p.m. we have a live stream, and 5:30
With
p.m.
Elaine.
we have a Zoom meeting in the Kiltz Mighty Tribe.
And then at 7 p.m.?
7 p.m. there, I think Amy,
Amy,
and Louis,
Amy's
Lotito.
live on the Lions Diet coming up. And we can do Christina's Lions Diet, which is add an egg yolk and a little bit of coffee, or are you decaffeinating?
I'm just getting off coffee.
Coffee, I love it. The coffee is like, it's the biggest addiction. But again,
Yeah.
if you have it, I'm a minimizer. Small amounts from time to time, but I don't have to line up to have it, and I could go days or weeks without it, even years. It's easy. But Kiltz's ice cream, never giving it up.
There you go. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh, and we're
Bye.
doing a 5 to 7 day fast in January too.
What
So-
days?
Christina, you're a rock star. Thank you, Dr. Nelson Alia. Love you. And
Bye.
everyone, thank you for being here.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.